Hello and welcome to ThomasGeigerCar. Today live from Jurrasic Park, because this is the home of the dinosaur of the SUVs. Welcome to Graz, welcome to the home of the Mercedes G-Class. And this is a very special G-Class. This is the prototype of the EQG, the first electric G-Class in more than 40 years. If you want to know what to expect from that vehicle that will hit the markets later next year to compete with cars like an Hummer EV, an Rivian and a Ford F-150, or a then might be available Ford Bronco EV or a Jeep Wrangler, join me on my first passenger ride with the prototype and I'll tell you all that's known till now. Driving the first few meters in the EQG prototype, but to be honest, only on the passenger seat. At least I got a decent driver. Emmerich Schiller, the head of the G-Class subdivision of Mercedes, is driving the car, the guy that is electrifying the G-Class. And he told me at least some of the secrets that are known until now. So we have 4 independent motors, 1 for each wheel. We have a decent battery. They're not telling the size right yet, but if you assume 3 digits, you might be on the safe side, so more than 100 kilowatt hours, giving you enough energy to play off-road in a really hard way for 2 days. There is no use in making distances or telling distant numbers and figures when you go off-road. That's more about time than about distance. So they promise you can have fun for 2 days without charging the vehicle. And if you go on-road and if you drive on-road, it should be substantial, not much worse than in an EQE SUV, for example. So giving you more than 400 kilometers of range, I assume. But since it's a G-Class, it is a proper Geländewagen, made for the hardest off-road you can imagine, even with the battery in the floor. And we all know batteries are quite sensitive, quite sensible, and they don't like hard bumps like we have them here. But in this case, no need to worry. That's at least what Emmerich is promising, because there is a carbon plating, a carbon shield underneath the body. The battery is integrated in the leather frame of the G-Class, and there is a carbon shield of about that thickness that is underneath the vehicle. So we have 4 independent motors, no information about the power yet, but at least one engine is strong enough to drag the vehicle of its almost 3 tons up a hill alone. So you have decent power and decent power reserve. And once we're on the tarmac or on asphalt and Emmerich is accelerating, it feels like accelerating in a G63. So there is a lot of power, a lot of speed, and it's done with an absolute ease. When you drive or ride the EQG, you can really feel the ease of the electric drivetrain. Yes, the combustion engine, the AMG, the diesel, are also maximum capable to do all the things, and the electronics are helping the driver a lot. But with the 4 individual electric motors, it's the next level of interaction, the next level of setting up the vehicle, the next level of easy going. It's like a children's game. It's a kindergarten party to drive with this car through the roughest terrain that you can imagine. The only limitation is the driver, not the vehicle. And the fear of the driver is the limiting factor overall. But there's something else you recognize from the first minute. When you enter an EQE and EQS, you're in a new Mercedes world. It's a different style, it's a different way of driving, it's a different feel. It's just a car of the next generation. When you enter the EQG, you enter a G-Class and you feel and you recognize what you know. It's an icon, and this icon has not changed just because of the different drivetrain. It's an alternative drivetrain to the diesel and to the petrol engines, but it sticks to the core of the vehicle. It just gives you more possibilities than you ever had before. And there is one fancy possibility that I'm going to show you in a second, once we're down that 80-degree hill, which is really demanding once you feel the support of your seatbelt. It's all good, but yeah, you're really hanging in there. But now we're almost down. The car is just by recuperation, and then we're on a flat surface. One of the coolest features, the G-turn. Initializing the system, pressing the button, deciding which way to turn, and if we decide to turn leftwards, you just pull the left handle on the steering wheel, push the accelerator, and see what happens then. It's like on a merry-go-round. If you do that in front of your ice cream parlor, in front of the bar, it's amazing. You will have all the looks in the city. Thanks for joining me on that first ride with the new Mercedes EQG, a car I can't wait to drive on my own. I'm a huge G-Class fan, and I'm not the biggest fan of EVs, but this combination is really cool because this is not just another EV, this is just another powertrain for the iconic G-Class. It widens the capabilities, it gives you the good consciousness to do something good for the world and the environment, and it is just huge fun. Only two problems: this car will be as expensive as an AMG and supply will be limited, so this car will be most probably sold out as soon as it hits the road, same as the AMG models. So that's the bad side of the vehicle, but overall can't wait to drive it, and I'm definitely sure this car will prolong the career of the iconic G-Class for another decade or two.